Right. Good morning. Thursday, February 8th. Dad is at 937 subscribers. Thank you to all the subscribers that joined us in the last week. And this is the third test run on the yellow wide gauge Bombardier. Dad had to replace transmission mounts. He had to adjust the brake caliper, build new braces. He had to reinforce, I guess, the yoke, or like that little piece that comes out from the transmission. Put in a U-bolt there to reinforce it. We're going to start it up and open up the doors, and we are going to test run the the wide gauge Bombardier here. So Dad's got it started up. We're going to let it warm up, and then we're going to move it out. Dad's going to check the oil and check up all the fluids, make sure everything is good before we go. Dad's just topping up the ETF fluid. Dad's buddies just showed up to supervise the test run. Okay, doors open. Machine in the shop. It's gonna move back. Machine moving out now for the third test run. Okay. No move. Oh, a little bit moving up and down, but nothing that is significant here. Going up about an inch, but that U-bolt is holding on to place.
The plate is moving?
No, the transmission's moving up. Okay, I can't tell. No movement.
The plate's moving.
If it's the moving, Dad, it's underneath. I see no movement. Dad's just checking the engine back here. Okay. So third test run around the yard here. Very little movement in the transmission. Dad's just checking the engine here now. We could be calling the customer. We'll find out what the final assessment is here with Dad. Dad didn't let me know what the verdict is yet, but it's running it back into the shop, and we'll find out what's going on. Dad's buddy here is just getting a quick tour, and we'll find out the final assessment, what Dad thinks here. Okay, third test run. Preliminary assessment, what do you think?
I've got to check all the mounting bolts on the brakes
Okay,
and check the torque on the U-bolts I put in there.
yeah,
I might have tightened it a little bit yet. And for some reason or other, the alternator gauge is not working. I hope I don't have to put one of them in.
okay,
Or the, you know, like the charge discharge.
okay. So you think it might be a loose wire, or?
I don't know.
Okay.
Anything is possible.
Okay, so are we done test running though?
We're done test running.
Okay, so a couple tightened up here and there, install the seat, call the customer.
Put the floor in.
Yeah, okay,
The engine temperature is perfect. It's running at 179 to 180, so that's what you want.
okay. And the,
And I would like to know if it's charging. I might get vents to come out, because I got no way of testing without hooking up another gauge.
okay,
I might just put a gauge in. It's not that big of a deal.
okay.
But I gotta make sure the alternator's charging.
So Dad's doing a little final gauge check here after the third test run, and he wants to make sure everything is tickety-boo for the customer before we call him. Okay, last task was to install that seat. Dad just did it. It's an original Bombardier seat, so it's going to flip up. Get the floor back in. Gauges. Dad's double checked all the gauges. Double checked everything he needed to check. Okay. So there we go, another Bombardier project complete. We're going to be calling the customer here. 3 test runs on this machine. We had issues with the transmission mount, and Dad retightened up the U-bolts, so they were retorqued, so nothing should move now. But half this machine has been rebuilt, literally half. So been a long time coming here for the customer. We are going to be very happy to give him a call and say, come pick up your machine. And that is the end of this era. Yes. So the next thing we're going to do here is, besides call the customer, is we're going to spend 2 days cleaning up the shop. And we've got to do a couple other videos on a couple other machines that are for sale locally that some of you guys might be interested in, so stay tuned for those videos. You might even see them before you see this video. We're still about 2 weeks behind on videos, but thank you to all the new subscribers, and if you want any advice, you can always call Dad at the shop. Otherwise, if you want renovation or restoration work done, we're taking appointments somewhere around May. Typically, Dad does anywhere between 200 to 300 hours on a restoration job. This was right up there, but like I said, half this machine was replaced, and it's going to go back out to the customer as good as Dad can make it. And so happy to see the end of this job. And like you said, we're going to be taking in the Minnesota narrow gauge next, and that is an assembly job. It's already stripped down to nothing, and we're simply putting it back together. Well, not simply, but Dad is putting it back together. And there's a few other interesting little things on that machine that we're going to be doing differently than what we would normally do with the Bombardiers. And so stay tuned for that. And that's it, guys. Okay. Cat's going to lay down. Cat's going to join him.
Gotta lay down, talk this over. You want to go on the test run? Hey? You want to check it out now?
No, too many moving parts. You stay in the shop.
Okay, so we're ready. Hey?